Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about this upcoming winter system that's set to impact the eastern coast. We could see some potentially large impacts, so we'll get into that here in a second. Alright guys, so for today's question of the day, I'm wanting to know, would you rather live in the mountains or on the beach? Leave it down in the comments below and I just might heart your comment. But anyways guys, we are trying to reach 200 subscribers by the end of January, so if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. That'll be greatly appreciated. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Alright, so guys, we're taking a look at the radar view in terms of what is currently going on across the nation. So, across the upper northwest, we are still seeing some moisture, basically across the regions here. We actually did see that on yesterday's radar imagery as well. We do have a little bit more moisture across bits of the Ohio Valley, currently falling near Illinois and Indiana, basically across some of these regions, as well as some snow, basically across the eastern portions here of Maine, currently falling and currently exiting the region for the most part. But guys, you know, that's pretty much what we're dealing with in terms of the precipitation across the nation. I mean, it's relatively clear for a lot of these areas, basically across the southwest and the central parts of the country, southeast, mid-Atlantic view into the northeast, looking relatively clear for the most part. So honestly, it's looking pretty good. So guys, let's go and take a look at the future radar in terms of what the future weather might look like here down the line. Alright, so guys, we're taking a look at the future radar view in terms of your NAM 3-kilometer model. So basically across the upper northwest, as we were seeing on the actual radar view, there is a bit of precipitation across the region here, a little bit of moisture currently moves its way through the region. This will kind of exit by tomorrow as expected. Now, here's the thing. Across the upper northeast, we actually might see a little bit of snow showers here for bits of the 13th. Maybe a small clipper system to impact basically bits of the northeastern portions here of Minnesota and through bits of northern parts of Wisconsin here down the line. But that's not the crazy event we're expecting to see here shortly. So, guys, here's where things start to get kind of crazy. So you might notice this area of low pressure basically across the western portion here, the Atlantic shoreboard. This will track its way to the east, as well as this system across the northern plains. Take a look at this. So this middle system, basically across the northern portions here, the plains, this will be the main system that will drive snow all the way down across the Midwest and through bits of the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and into the northeast, as well as the Ohio Valley. Now, this system across the Atlantic shoreboard will actually probably deliver some snow across the coastal portions here of the northeast down the line, as this area of low pressure is set to strengthen down the line. But guys, take a look at this monster winter storm that's currently impacting bits of the central plains into the Midwest. This thing is huge, and it's expected to be quite a pretty large storm as well. So guys, that's essentially what we're dealing with in terms of that. So guys, let's go and take a look at the satellite view in terms of what we're currently seeing here across the nation. Alright, so guys, we're taking a look at the satellite view in terms of what is currently going on across the nation. So, across the northern portions here of the country, we are seeing a little bit of moisture infiltrate the region here. But, you know, honestly, it's quite clear across the southern portions here of the country, also with a little bit warmer temperatures for this time of the year as well. So, guys, it's actually looking pretty nice for a lot of these areas across the south. But like I said, you know, this is probably going to change here down the line as we will see the system that does drive its way down in the country, allowing for a lot more cloud cover to infiltrate the region here down the line. So, guys, let's go and take a look at the temperatures in terms of what is currently going on here in the nation. Man, are we seeing a lot of warm temperatures here across the nation, especially across the southeast. Take a look at this. Temperatures here in the upper 50s to 60s across a lot of these regions. They're also seen with a lot of clear skies, as we actually did see on the satellite view last slide. So guys, relatively nice day across a lot of these areas here, relatively more warmer for this time of the year. Now, it is still a bit chilly for the northern plains into the upper Midwest, into bits of the northeast here, as we are still seeing temperatures below freezing. Same thing across bits of those upper elevations here, the Rockies, where it is higher elevation. Obviously, the higher you go up, the more colder it gets. But guys, like I was saying, for the much of the country, it is looking relatively nice across the southeast for today. So guys, let's go and take a look at the models in regard to the upcoming weather here, especially with that upcoming winter system, in terms of what we actually might see here down the line. Alright, so guys, we're taking a look at the Long Range American model, also known as your GFS. So, as we do track down in time, we actually do see this winter system that starts to impact bits of the northern plains, tracks its way down through bits of the Midwest here on the 15th. Basically kind of, meets up with this area of low pressure, kind of gets a kick from the Gulf of Mexico with a lot of moisture supply, allowing for that snow to start falling relatively heavy. Then further down the line, we actually will probably start to see some snow falling across the mid-Atlantic into the Ohio Valley. Further down the line, this will track its way up to the northeast with some high pressure kind of building in behind it, leading to some pretty more clear skies. But guys, this has a lot of potential. This could be a pretty bad winter storm. So guys, we definitely need to monitor this very, very closely over the next few days. So let's go and take a look at the accumulation factor in terms of what this model has to say about this upcoming winter system. Alright guys, so before we get into it, I want to go ahead and tell you guys, you should not trust these accumulations based off of what they have to say. just kind of get an idea because each model has its own opinion. So we start to get some snow falling across the northern plains here on the 14th, kind of across those early hours here, kind of starting in near midnight across bits of North Dakota. Tracks its way down through bits of the Midwest, for the 15th into the 16th here, kind of for those early hours, kind of stalling out across bits of southern Missouri here as it does get kind of get that kick of moisture as we were seeing across the Gulf of Mexico. We'll kind of stall off, kind of get an easterly track, line for some snow to fall across the Mid-Atlantic Ohio Valley, eventually up to the northeast here, kind of for the 16th through the 17th. Now, guys, take a look at this. Across the southeastern portion here of Missouri is showing the potential we actually might see maybe up to 2 feet or so. And I'm going to show you guys why this is likely going to change here down the line. So, guys, let's go and take a look at the ECMWF model, and let's see what the similarities and differences between these models have to say about this winter system. Alright guys, so we're taking a look at the European model, also known as the ECMWF model. So, kind of a similar story in terms of what your GFS model had to say. Kind of seeing that snow start across the northern portion here of North Dakota for the early hours here on the 14th, kind of near midnight. So, this will track its way through the plains and through bits of the Midwest, kind of stalling out basically across bits of southern portions of Missouri into northern Arkansas. And kind of getting an easterly track here, basically for the bits of the 16th into the 17th here. And for the 18th, it will be impacting bits of the northeast. So, in terms of accumulations, in terms of what this model has to say, so it's kind of similar between what the GFS model had to say and this one across bits of the plains into bits of the Midwest, maybe up to 8 to 12 inches with locally higher amounts possible, kind of in those pink shaded areas, kind of in this blue shaded area, maybe 3 to 5. That's kind of what we're expecting out of this model. Now, across bits of the Mid-Atlantic, this is a lot more aggressive, showing potentially over a foot across bits of the northern portions here of Virginia, basically across bits of the Mid-Atlantic region. So we definitely need to monitor this because we are talking a lot of totals. Moves its way up into the northeast here, potentially isolated amounts up to 12 inches, up to a foot or so across the region there. So guys, let's go and take a look here at one more model. I want to go ahead and take a look at the National Weather Service blend of models. Basically just takes a whole bunch of model outputs, kind of blends them together to kind of give you the best bet in terms of what you actually might see here down the line. Alrighty, so guys, we're taking a look at the final model for today's video. We're taking a look at the National Weather Service blend of models. Like I said before, it just takes a whole bunch of model outputs, kind of blends them together. So, here we go. For the early hours here on the 14th, we are kind of stone set in terms of when the snow is expected to occur across the northern plains into bits of northern portions here of North Dakota. Tracks its way down through bits of the Midwest, kind of stalling out here on the 16th. Starts to get an easterly track here on the 17th, moves way up through the northeast here on the 18th. So, in terms of totals, in terms of what this model has to say, so across the northern plains here, we could potentially see maybe up to 6 to 10 inches across a lot of these areas here in pink, maybe 3 to 5 inches across these areas here kind of in the blue color, and kind of lighter, maybe 1 to 3 inches across basically these lighter blue colors, essentially in terms of what we're expecting across these regions here. Now across the Mid-Atlantic, we're potentially seeing maybe up to near 12 inches or so, maybe up near 12 inches across some of these areas here across the Mid-Atlantic, and maybe some instances of up to 12 inches across the northeast. However, for the most part, kind of the same thing, maybe up to 6 to 10 inches according to your blend of models in terms of what this one has to say. So guys, let's go and take a look at the National Weather Service hazards, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of your current hazards across the nation. Alright, so guys, we're taking a look at the National Weather Service hazards in terms of what is currently going on across the nation. So, we actually do have some winter storm watches in effect across these areas here, basically across bits of Iowa, southwestern portions here of Minnesota to northeastern portions here of South Dakota, showing that winter weather down the line is possible, so just stay tuned as winter storm warnings might be needed. Now, in terms of winter storm warnings, believe it or not, we actually do have a few across the western portion here of Montana, across this area here in pink, showing that winter weather is imminent or expected to occur down the line, and potentially some pretty large impacts of winter weather is set to occur. Now we actually do have a winter weather advisory in effect across this area here, kind of in this purple color, showing that some impacts of winter weather are set to occur. We actually do have some dense fog advisories across the central portion here of California, showing that, difficulty visibility due to dense fog is expected. And we actually do have some wind advisories in effect across the southern portion here of California, showing that, gusty winds is expected to occur. Now, across bits of the northwest, we actually do have a bit of flood watches in effect across this dark green shaded area, showing that flooding is possible down the line, as we are seeing a lot of excessive rainfall across the region there. Believe it or not, we actually do have a few flood warnings going on across this area here, kind of this light green color, almost that lime green color, basically showing that flooding is ongoing or expected. So guys, that's essentially what we're dealing with in terms of that. We actually do have a few high wind warnings in effect across the western portion here of Montana, showing that heavy winds are expected to occur. And we actually do have some high wind watches in effect across the western portion here of South Dakota, showing that heavy winds are possible down the line, so just stay alert as high wind warnings might be needed. But anyways, guys, let's go and take a look here at the photo of the day, and let's see what we're dealing with in terms of that. Alright, so guys, we're taking a look at the photo of the day. This one goes to my man Andre again for taking this beautiful shot here of this cumulus cloud. So congratulations on being selected again for today's video. Now guys, if you would like the potential of being one of our future videos, I'll leave our Discord down in the description below. You guys can join it, as well as post your photo there for the potential. You actually might make it one of our future videos. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Like I said, if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as leave a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. We are trying to reach 200 subscribers by the end of January, so if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.